So, Musa, what age was your brother then, and why was he arrested?
My brother, his name is Fuad. Uh, he's the oldest one. He helped fighters. He helped fighters to be escaped from the Israeli forces, and they arrested him because he helped them, and they also told him that you were one of those fighters, and you also throw stones to the army, the Israeli army, so you have to come with us. They arrested him. They arrested my brother and they took him to a closed center run by the Israeli army. Then they took him to the Israeli jails. Um, I think it was Magiddo jail. I'm not sure about the name of. I'm not sure about the name of the jail and the prison, but they moved him. They also keep them about 4 years in the jail.
So
About
what? So what age was he? Did you say 16?
his age?
Yeah.
No, he was about 25, 26 years.
Okay. And he was put in prison for 4 years for throwing stones at the Israeli
Throwing
army.
stones, and they also accused him that he was one of fighters,
Yes. So
and
what they done was they
he
chased.
was a member. To be frankly, he was a member of BFLB. So they arrested him because of that also. Yeah.
Okay. So was he in jail for all of the 4 years, or was he released before the 4 year sentence was up? Or
He were he imprisoned 4 years completely. We visited him from time to time, and it was difficult for him and for us because he's the oldest, and my dad became too older, and so my brother became the
head of the
person
family?
who helped that we were depend on him. So anyway, he were released in the prisoners
Exchange.
yeah, exchange after the Palestinian Authority came, and after the Oslo Agreement.
Mm.
So he freed at that time.
So what age were you when he was arrested?
Um, I'm not sure, but maybe 25, 26 years.
What age were you?
Sweet.
What age were you
For me, now,
when he was arrested? Were you 5, 6, 10, 14?
for me, I was 5 years, I think,
Okay.
5 years.
So what's your memory? Your brother being dragged out from the house, being taken away. You didn't know why, for what reason. So did that have an effect on you as a 5 year old to see your brother
Yes,
trailed out by people who were?
yes,
Uh,
I cried more, and I tried to go and catch my brother, but the Israeli armies forced me to go away. So at that time, I cried more, and I told I need my brother. He did nothing. So, but nothing without benefit with the armies, with the armed Israeli soldiers. You cannot do anything.
so what about the rest of the family? What effect did this have on your parents who watched their son being dragged off? And then you have more brothers and you have 6 sisters. Does this make people angry or unhappy, or do they want to have revenge against the people who?
Of course, we weren't happy. We were angry. We just shouted on the Israelis and trying to get our brother, my parents, my also sisters. They tried to catch or to get my brother from the Israeli soldiers, but I they forced them to go away because they armed. Uh, we were scared also, but nothing happened. We cannot do anything with those colonizers.
But then, in the weeks and months and years that your brother was in prison, did this make you angry as the time went by? Did it make your older brothers want to stand up to the Israeli government and what they were doing to the people in Gaza? Did it radicalize them? Did it make them want to stand up like their brotherhood stood up and defy the state?
Yeah, we stand up. We participated in in all march, in all activities against the Israelis, and also we got a lawyer to help us to let him get out, but without any benefit, unfortunately. So we tried many times, but they told us that he has to stay 4 years in the prison. After that, he can get out if he did nothing also inside the jail to fight or do something. So we stayed like this from time to time. We visited him. We used to visit him from time to time. Mm, and we were proud that he was one of the persons who fighted the Israelis by any way. And inside the jail, he learned Hebrew language. He made many friends there, many Palestinians. He met many fighters there. So we can't stop. We couldn't stop. We couldn't give up. This is our land, and we have to pay the tax for our demanding the freedom and fighting the occupation.
So, as you grew up, did you witness many acts of violence on the streets? Did you see gun battles? Did you see Israeli soldiers murder unarmed civilians? Did you see them beat people up? Did you see them arbitrarily arrest people who had committed no offense? How did you feel living under military occupation? Did you feel you were being watched all the time, that your movements were restricted, that you couldn't have a normal life free from violence, the life that every child should have, which is to play with their friends without the fear of something happening to their family? And was that a concern? Were you always worried something else might happen to other members of your family, to your other older brothers or younger brothers?
Yeah, I became worried when they arrested my oldest brother. I became worried that they arrest me. They will arrest me. They will arrest other brothers without any evidence that or any problem with them. So I always were scared, and to be one of the person who will get in the prison like my brother. And from time to time, there were some clashes in our area, throwing stones to the army, the Israeli army, in order to let them get out, get out from our area, get out from our refugee camp. Let us live in peace, in safe life. So from time to time there were some clashes, some fighting, and they throw the gas to. I remember one day that they throw the gas to our neighbor, our area, close area, and my mom was preparing a big bowls from water and put them on the door in order if there's any gas pomegranate, just the pomegranate, she and the young person take this and put it inside the water to stop the gas. And she prepared also sometimes onions to give it to and distribute it for the young the young the young the young persons who throw stones. So I remember these scenes from my childhood, from fighting the Israelis while they were occupying Gaza Strip and they were in our area.
So you grew up in an environment of violence and resistance against an
Yes, of
illegal
course.
military occupation. So young men your age, people in your family, friends, neighbors, and community
Mm,
resisted this illegal military occupation.
yeah.
Uh, did you see anyone who was badly hurt or murdered or killed by the Israelis?
I didn't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't
Didn't see
remember.
anything?
Yeah,
Yeah. Nobody shot or wounded?
really, I didn't remember right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you didn't have a normal childhood. That's impossible under the circumstances.
of course.
But for you, it just probably felt normal because that's what you were used to. That was life growing up. Uh, did you ever consider becoming militarily involved in a conflict? Sometimes people reach a point where they feel we must do something rather than continue to be oppressed. And some people become political, some people become fighters,
Yes.
some people think, it's not for them, it's not in their DNA to take another life. How did you feel about the occupation? And Gaza was occupied from 1948 or 1967.
1967.
Okay. And so tell me how you felt living under the occupation. And then when did the settlers arrive in Gaza?
When?
The settlers.
I have no correct information. I don't
Okay.
need to.
We can Google when the
Yes,
settlers
yeah,
arrived.
I
Yep.
need to check the dates, exact dates.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Was there a
So,
settlement near where you lived? Did
yes,
you see settlers walking down the street?
walking down, I didn't remember.
Okay.
I didn't remember these actions. And
But there were settlers, illegal Israeli Jewish settlers in Gaza,
yes, there were,
protected by the IDF,
of course.
trying to steal more land, having stolen historic Palestine. They were then trying to steal Gaza and maybe force Palestinians in Gaza to move into Egypt, while they were
Yeah,
trying to force
yeah,
Palestinians in the West Bank to move into Jordan.
to Jordan and other countries. Yeah.
So when did they leave Gaza and why?
Yeah, the Israelis left Gaza in 2005. Yeah. Uh,
Part of the
there,
Oslo Agreement, or was there
yes,
another reason?
yes, there wasn't an agreement. The main cause for their leaving Gaza is the resistance. The resistance, the armed resistance, and the popular resistance. So the majority of Palestinians, even there were some checkpoints in the Gaza Strip, the Palestinians didn't accept the occupation, didn't accept the Israeli army who were at checkpoints. From time to time, there were some resistance, some operations or actions against Israelis. Some of them armed, some of them popular. So they forced to leave Gaza. They forced. They lost many settlers, many soldiers, while the Palestinian resistance fight them, and they did many of them. Many of the resistance actions. I remember they also the Palestinian resistance started at that time to produce some local rockets, and they throw these rockets to the settlement. They were in Gaza Strip. So this doesn't mean these actions didn't leave the Israelis to live in safe, and this is the result of occupying our land. So you are not welcome to Palestine. You are settlers. You are thieves of lands. So you will not be welcomed. So even right now we have resistance. Resistance is going up in Gaza Strip, also in West Bank, in every place of Palestine. From time to time, you find some resistance from the Palestinians.
So, just to recap, your grandparents were forced from their home along with their neighbours in the village, which was then destroyed by the Israelis. They became refugees in Gaza. Then Gaza came under occupation
Yeah.
in 1967. And between 1967 and 2005, you grew up under military occupation.
Yes.
You told us that your brother, your eldest brother, at the age of 25, served 4 years in prison. Did anything happen to any other members of your family? Did anyone else
Yes.
suffer as a result of this illegal occupation?
Before the Israeli withdrew from Gaza in 2004, um, my brother, who is older than me 2 years, his name is Khalil. Uh, he killed by the Israelis while he was fighting them in the borders of a settlement called Kisufim. It's in the middle of Gaza Strip. There were a settlement there, so there was a resistance action there led by my brother and also another fighter. It was in the month of November 2014. So he was killed there, and when he was killed, I was at school. I remember that
2004?
story, 2004. Uh, I was at school, and some of other students came that told me, I hear there's a martyr called Khalil Shahada. Um, and I was surprised because I didn't know that he he was fighting the Israelis. I didn't know that he did many resistance works before. Also, the whole of my family, they didn't know more about his resistance
Like
background.
a secret life? Yeah.
Yes. So we were surprised and we were very sad when we lost him. A few hours um, he became dead to our house, and we were crying. We cried more. We became sad till now when we remember him. That we we became sad. So, but we became sad, and we have more hope to be rebelated, because we already paid, and other Palestinians are still paying the tax of steadfasting and fighting the occupiers. So we are happy, we are honored of him, of what he did, uh, not only for anyone, but but exactly for Palestine, for his land to be rebelated. So a few months after the Israeli withdrew from Gaza, we were happy